じゃないと力を与えてくれる。そんな仲間と一緒に歩き始めるのは光り輝く一つの果てしなく続く道。諦めずに怖がらずに前を向いて進んでいこう。大きな愛の中で育てられているのだから祈られて支えられて生きているのだから諦めずに怖がらずに前を向いて進んでいこう。大きな愛の中で育てられているのだから祈られて支えられて生きているのだからだらけの自分が初めて出会う者たち喜びと戸惑いが心の中で渦巻く。そんなちっぽけな自分がいつか見つけるのは光り輝く一つの果てしなく続く道。諦めずに怖がらずに前を向いて進んでいこう。大きな愛の中で育てられているのだから祈られて支えられて生きているのだから夢を諦めかけたり苦しく辛い時にはいつの日一人じゃないと力を与えてくれる。そんな仲間と一緒に歩き始めるのは光り輝く一つの果てしなく続く道。諦めずに怖がらずに前を向いて進んでいこう。大きな愛の中で育てられているのだから祈られて支え
次 I have to now
一人じゃないと力を与えてくれるそんな仲間と一緒に歩き始めるのは光り輝く一つの果てしなく続く道諦めずに怖がらずに前を向いて進んでいこう大きな愛の中で育てられているのだから祈られて支えられて生きているのだから諦めずに怖がらずに前を向いて進んでいこう大きな愛の中で育てられているのだから祈られて支えられて生きているのだから
Good morning, everyone. Aloha kakayakako. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining the San Diego Church's Go祈念会and mini Shintoku Academy lesson. Today, so unlike regular services, today we run through kind of the normal, what a normal daily service would be like at the San Diego Church. At the same time, we have silent prayers, which gives you an opportunity to really connect with the divine, connect with Kami-sama, connect with this universal energy that gives us life. So without any further ado, let's begin today's prayer service. And please don't mind, I'm going to have to go back and forth to the computer because I'm solo today. So thank you very much for your understanding. So let's begin. Haide. 4 sincere claps. Prayer of sincere Toritsugi. I am a Konko Kyo believer. I believe in Ikigami Konko Daijin, Tenchi Kane no Kami. I've come today to practice my faith, appreciate and acknowledge the blessings, favors, and interventions of Tenchi Kane no Kami, honor the ancestors, and learn more about the faith of Konko Daijin. As I learn more about the heart of Tenchi Kane no Kami, I nurture the faith of my spiritual family. Thus, I boldly confess that my mind is alert, my heart is receptive, and I will never be the same as long as I practice the faith and receive Toritsugi. Kyami Konko Daijin Sama Tenchi Kane no Kami-sama. Thank you. Haide. 4 sincere claps. To follow along with for today's prayer service, if you click on the service order, the service order will come out, and the additional prayers that we do, aside from the prayers in the prayer book, are also included. Judo Haire for sincere claps. 天津のりと赤間の腹にかむずまります。かむろぎかむろみのみこともちてすめみおやかむいざないのみことつくしのひゅうがのたちばなのおどんのわわぎはらにみそぎはらいたまうときにあれませる払いどのおかみたちもろもろのまがごと罪けがれを払いたまい清めたまえと申すことのよしおはまつ神くんにつ神やおよろずの神たちともにやめのぶちこまの耳振り立ててきこしめせとかしこみも申す親先生の手続きをもちまして偉大金光様ご拝礼申し上げたてまつります教祖池上金光大臣様ご拝礼申し上げたてまつります天地可憐の大親神様ご拝礼申し上げたてまつります広大なる恵みをこうぶりましてありやぜんのごすきさも時々国番地番単に広大なる御影をこうぶりまして結構千番ありがたき御礼申し上げたてまつります共同神道一同におきましてはやぜんも負担も時々国番地番単に広大なる御影をこうぶりまして結構千番ありがたき御礼申し上げたてまつります天が下う自己一同におきましても日々昼夜番地番単に広大なる御影をこうぶりまして結構千万ありがたき御礼申し上げたてまつります一同のうちご広大なる道のお授けくださいまして結構千万ありがたき御礼申し上げたてまつりますこの段一同になり変わりまして一礼を申し上げます京都神道一同より天が下氏ご一同におきましてはこれんまりかなるご無礼をそまつごきわざりございましょうともなりとどいしお差し許しくだされますようお願い申し上げたてまつります親代々よりかなるご無礼罪巡りございましょうともお差し許しされまして一同のうちご願い上地番単数法よく何卒安心の御影をお願い申し上げたてますります。Please open your prayer books to page 2 for the mediation prayer. Mediation prayer. Let us seek the sacred mediation of Ikigami Konko Daijin sincerely and wholeheartedly each and every day. May we receive the mediation anew with all our hearts and souls on this day, this very moment. Ikigami Konko Daijin sama. Ikigami Konko Daijin sama. Ikigami Konko Daijin sama. Ikigami Konko Daijin sama. Kami prayer. Reverently we pray. The brilliance of heaven, the richness of earth. Time flows without cease. Years pass without end. In heaven and earth is a life that nurtures all. In heaven and earth is a truth that orders all. But its wondrous form, for these wondrous works. Let us praise Tenchi Kane no Kami. Let us praise the divine parent of the universe. Kami loves and cares for all humanity, all those who live between heaven and earth. To revere Kami as divine parent, to live in Kami's infinite blessings. This is the way. Yet many, not knowing the way, are lost in greed and selfishness. They suffer the cycle of misfortunes. Great is Kami's sorrow. Our founding father, Konko Daijin, suffered many trials in this world, but held fast to faith and sincerity. He received Kami's great blessing, began the life of mutual fulfillment of Kami and humanity. Humbly we pray. The Divine Parent's great wish was thus fulfilled. Honko Daijin accepted the call to mediation that leads to the mutual benefit of Kami and humanity. By day, he taught the way of faith to all who sought him, expounding on the blessings of heaven and earth. And he knew not the coming of night. By night, he prayed for those who grieved, seeking salvation for all who suffered. And he knew not the dawning of day. Though years passed and the world changed, he did not waver from his task, the divine task of mediation. Thus was given a sacred Henchi Kakitsuke, the guiding principle for our daily life. The divine favor was thus renewed, and blessings flowed universally, establishing the way of eternal prosperity, the way of mediation of Ikigami Konko Daijin. By this wondrous revelation, we are given knowledge of the way. Through all the hardships of this world, through pain of body and soul, the way of mediation teaches us to turn our hearts to God. Without regard for day or night, whether we are near or far, the way of mediation teaches us to pray with total trust. For living unaware of divine favor, we offer our sincere apologies and pledge to mend our ways. Let us live our faith every day, seeking and rejoicing in your divine favor. Let us care for those in pain and invite them to the way. Let us guide those who are lost and awaken them to a life of purpose. Kami is fulfilled in us. We are fulfilled in Kami. May this way of mutual fulfillment be manifested in this world. May Kami's wish for true peace and the well-being of all people be fulfilled. So we humbly pray. So we earnestly pray. Prayer for grace. Kami-sama, give me grace for this day, not for a lifetime, nor next year, next month, next week, or tomorrow. Yes, give me grace just for this day. Direct my work and bless it. Advise me in things I say and give them blessings too. Direct and bless everything that I think, do, and speak, so that for this one day, I have the gift of grace that comes from your presence. Kami-sama, just this one day, let me live generously and kindly in a state of grace and goodness that makes me a little bit like you. Shintoku Gakuin silent prayer.ますますご比例の手お願い申し上げたてますます。玉溝や教会歴代王先生の御霊様、サンディエゴ教会初代の御霊様、ますますご比例の手お願い申し上げたてますます。本部広前大阪教会、西広教会、玉溝や教会、東教会をはじめ各教会ともご比例発展の御霊お願い申し上げたてますます。親先生、先生おかれましては病気、病難のございますよ。体をご長ごご教、ご寿命長久、日々日々を万事万端にお差し支えなく、ご比例予定のお願い申し上げたまつります。この度の新型コロナウイルス感染症流行におきましては、早かに収束いたしますよう、感染し、無事故におきましては、早かに病併誘全開いたしますよう、医療に携わる無事故におきましては、無事安全に従事いたしますよう、お願い申し上げたてますます。感染により亡くなりましたる無事故の御霊にお道立て、御霊安心の御霊お願い申し上げたてますます。家庭民族の争いをはじめ、天災地変による 被災地の復興成就をクリアして使われますよう、行方不明の事故におきましては、早かに身元判明のいたしますようなくなりましたる、氏子の御霊を道かで、御霊安心の御影をお願い申し上げたてますます。つくさをはじめ、公務員並びに勤めの氏子におきましては、日々の役向け差し支えのございますよう、一節病、成就安心の恩繰り合わせ、おつかさわれますよう、お願い申し上げたてますります。農業の内子は、電池田畑とも実りよく、大虫の災い、物切れ物付きともございますよう、五穀豊穣、家畜に至るまで、無事安全、一節安心、一節成就安心の増やせ、お願い申し上げたてますよ。商用の氏子におきました商売繁盛、会話、売りは、とも都合よく差し支えなく、それぞれ思惑成就、安心の増やせ、お願い申し上げたてますよ。職業の氏子は日々、日々、万事万端に差し支えのございますよう、一節成就安心の被害をお願い申し上げたてますよ。道中山中働く事故は足の患い、怪我や町故障のございますよう、万事安心の繰り合わせをお願い申し上げたてますいます。航空航海に働く事故は発着都合よく不意時不意難しけ難風怪我過ちなく風浪海上は無事安全一節成就安心のクリアスをお願い申し上げたてますよ。要領の内子は怪我過ちございますよう、いずれも大量の御神をお願い申し上げたてますいます。業務を離れましたる内子は、それぞれの業務を授けくだされまして、一度安心の御神をお願い申し上げたてますいます。学業の内子におきましては、体上部動縁なり病気病難、怪我過ちのございまするよ、思想に過ちのございまするよ、学業上10円の身の上安心のお増やせをお願い申し上げたてますいます。隣人の内子は地位の確認なく、無事安産、早かに立ちまして、体の丈夫達者の愛になりますよう、生まれるこの法におきましては、無事正常祭事芸能をお授け使われますよう、お願い申し上げたてますいます。心得違いの氏子は早かに心つき改心させていただきまして、一度安心の御影お願い申し上げたてますいます。その他、急病、死病、長病、流行、疫病、傷病、怪我、過ち、難情の氏子は、早かに病気、平流、全開、体丈夫、達者、健康上、奇妙長久の御影をお願い申し上げたてますいます。京都神道一同や大々の御霊、までいかなるご無礼、罪巡りございましょうとも優しすぎるし、使われまして、御霊を道風道、当安心の御影をお願い申し上げたてますいます。京都神道一度におきましては、病気、病難、不治難、不都合、不幸せのございますよう、悲願盗難ございますよう、体丈夫、達者、家業成就、家庭円満、願い成就、万事万端、都合よく安心の御霊をお願い申し上げてますよ。未来、信じいたしませぬ氏子、病気、病難、不治、災難、不都合、不幸せなる氏子、または天地のご恩を知りませぬ氏子、共にお引き寄せくだされまして、信心させていただきまして、一度安心の御影をお願い申し上げたてますいます。この上ともかんながらかんばかりを支援導かしてやりますようお願い申し上げたてますります。京都神道一同におきましては、信心の道を誤すことございますよう、損なうことございますよう、ますます信心を進ませていただきまして、日々いかなる願い事をいたしますしょうとも、即座に御影を授けくだされまして、日々をありがたく、素晴らしく、嬉しく
楽しく万事万端都合よく、何との安心の御霊のお願い申し上げ立てまつります。歴代本校様、教祖池闇本校大臣様、天地金の神様、何とぞ皆お聞きお届けくだされまして、漏れなく御影をお授けくだされますよう、戦線になり変わりまして、お願い申し上げ立てますります。ご神号法書 Recitation of 本校大臣 name。きがみ金光大臣様、きがみ金光大臣様、きがみ金光大臣様、きがみ金光大臣様、きがみ金光大臣様、きがみ金光大臣様、きがみ金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様、生き神金ご大臣様。Please open your prayer books to page 29 for Shintoku Sanji. 仰ぎ祭れば天高く、仰ぎ祭れば天高く、滅がみ祭れば地は厚し、神の恵みに生かされる身の幸い、ぞわりがたきわが、生き神の恩取り次ぎとひも、かくるときのなく天地の神の御守りときかきの隔てなし神につく親身はよろずよにあまねく道で果てしなく感計らいはくすしくて人の思いぞ及ばざる我ら今月今日やび祭りでひたすらに神の御影をたたえ祭らん神の比例を仰ぎ祭らん Prayer for the ending of the novel coronavirus pandemic. ひがみ金光大臣様天地金の神様ひがみ金光大臣様天地金の神様 We offer our hearts of appreciation for your love and virtue as we are allowed to live in this very moment. A pandemic is continuing to interrupt the lives, health, and livelihoods of people throughout the world. However, we also give thanks to those who have given so much to help bring a sense of normalcy back into the world. We also give appreciation for those working to end this pandemic through research, care, and service. The coronavirus pandemic has caused much concern and raised anxieties amongst peoples and nations. Hence, we offer our hearts and prayers to you to help us end this pandemic expediently and bring peace to the world. Sadly, there are those who have passed due to this virus,
And we put our hands together to pray for their spirit's peace and salvation. We pray for the approved vaccines and medications that with your favor and grace, they will be effective in saving lives. It is our prayer that with each mask worn, each vaccine given, and or each medication taken, we take another step in helping to create a world where we support and care for each other as your precious children. We pray for those who are infected by the virus to quickly heal and recuperate in order that they may continue to contribute to society and the world. And for those that are suffering in the midst of this pandemic, please allow their faiths to be resurrected and their livelihoods be restored. We pray for political, economical, and educational reform so that all the apprehension and distrust we have been harboring will dissipate and we will be blessed with societal order. Thus, now more than ever, we commit to reviving our hearts of appreciation, having a heart of coming, and praying for and guiding others. May we all be awakened to your truth, that a faith that helps others helps ourselves. Use us to help you in this crusade to end this pandemic and bring peace to our world. It is our sincere prayer that the people of the world will not only have peace of mind, but also live happily, safely, abundantly, and healthily. ひがみ金光大臣様、天地金の神様。ひがみ金光大臣様、天地金の神様。I 4 sincere claps. 一度拝礼 4 sincere claps. 天雲尊き教祖金光大寺がお生まれ、お育てください。神取十平、君の御霊の神、神取下、君の御霊の神、厚本年申し上げます。本部広前をはじめ、大阪教会、難波教会、日広教会、浜溝屋教会、サンフランシスコ教会、サンディゴ教会、北サンディゴカウンティ集会、チュラビスタ校舎のミッド霊前にお待ち申し上げております。御霊の神様、ありがとうございます。主題白神や日の道は日の御事の御霊の神、二大白神道を急や高根の君の御霊、ありがとうございます。今垣貞七、豊牛、牛豊木、牛の御霊の神、
松井文雄、牛の御霊の神、松井文子姫の御霊の神、湯川安太郎三牛満ちてる三柱牛の御霊の神、湯川秀興たらし満ちてる姫の御霊の神、ありがとう。湯川茂牛の御霊の神、湯川文雄姫の御霊の神、湯川安牛の御霊の神、湯川真理子姫の御霊の神、湯川誠一牛の御霊の神、湯川つや姫の御霊の神、湯川信直牛の御霊の神、ありがとう。湯川のりかず牛の御霊の神、ありがとう。湯川家、土井家、牧野家、高橋家、白石家、ペティーズファミリー、ハンファミリー、デネスファミリー、メクフェルファミリー、ブスケファミリー、ブレンスファミリー、中尾家、八田家、渋谷家、今岡家の先導代々の御霊の神、ありがとうございます。八重家、スミス家、浮須家、トレア家、ココスカ家、田代家、伊藤千尋の家の御霊の神、若林家、服部家、神林家、三家、ドラン家、ロトエ家、フラン家、浅野家、ジュイラティ家、ストー家、井ノ口家、臼家、長島家、デイビス家、オブライン家、トエ家、高見家、牧野家、園田家、田中京信の家の御霊の神、田中義雄の家の御霊の神、坂東光弘の家の御霊の神、谷口小波の家の御霊の神、マスタキス家、ファミリー、河野家、飯森家、藤本家、大関家、モーリス家、浜川家、オーラー家、サハラ家、坂田家、ズンモ家、ハリングフォード家、川崎家、ロペス家、ゴンズ家、キャルフン家、ハズボーの家の御霊の神、イー家、ペルチャル家、カミンズ家、ギルモー家、ビリンズ家、ヘッ家、ホースメン家、瀬川家、浦田家、ブラウン家、テタッパ家、ジョー家、松井家、クレア家、松野家、岡崎家、菅原家、横塚家の先祖代々の御霊の神、ありがとうございます。小野教会、笠岡教会、小倉教会、和平教会、広教会、東畑教会、福岡教会、芝教会のご霊前には申し上げます。御霊の神様、ありがとうございます。高橋県に関係にあるご霊人様、ありがとうございます。高橋家、宮本家、長川家、羽生家、森本家、岩下家、山下家、森里家、青野家、グリーンハウスファミリー、福田家、月山家、小垣家、デヘスファミリー、大畑家、新宅家、井田家、ワン家の先祖代々の御霊の神、ありがとうございます。いい家、いいファミリー、クレアファミリー、ライファミリー、大久保家、高原家の先祖代々の御霊の神、ありがとうございます。Beetle family, Birch family, Birchall family, Dodson family, Dutcher family, Hill family, Upton family, Inman family, Mead family, Meek family, O'Brien family, Russell family, Wainwright 家の先祖代々の御霊の神、ありがとうございます。秀島力松先生、秀島康王子姫、秀島宗男先生、秀島徹、ハロルド・ライアン、ミチコ・プレン、大坪亀吉先生、児玉正幸牛、児玉紀子姫、石田先生ご夫妻、長井真京先生、鈴田先生ご夫妻、安崎光子先生、安崎光正先生、高井先生、安崎清隆先生、奥野正一先生、ありがとうございます。笠岡金光大臣様、加根正大明神様、春子姫、石渡春子姫、大場愛子姫、大場正則牛、清水幸喜彦、伊藤幸姫、伊藤高橋須磨子姫、武田貞子姫、岩佐久姫、岩佐道弘牛、小田京子ドルフィ大戸寺、石松梅子姫、坂井春子姫、坂井和子姫、日高龍右衛門牛、山中清芝の牛、藤田ミニ戸寺、サンディエゴ教会の関係にあるご霊人様、北サンディエゴカウンティ集会に関係にあるご霊人様、チュラビスタ校舎の関係にあるご霊人様、サンディエゴカウンティ、サンディエゴカウンティの氏子、アリゾナ州の氏子、コロラド州の氏子、ネバダ州の氏子、テキサス州の氏子、オクラホマ州の氏子、ハワイ州の氏子、メキシコ合衆国の氏子のご霊人様、厚かつ御礼申し上げたてまつります。湯川馬し満ちてるに柱牛の牛廃止、初代王先生廃止。あれ青雲下わしき湯川の牛廃や。あれ青雲下わしき湯川の牛廃や。 哀れしのぶも懐かしきうましみちてるみ柱うしはや和漢の浦和の清き深きみ心持ちて網よ山い道よ尊び何は縁の広き遠き身を思い持ちてようがわでみ人を救いて道のみ光をわんまかがし教えの恵みをくにかがし人の世のもとつ道を極め尽くし神と人と一つなることありよまさやかに教えまつぶさに示したまいし大き高きみさをとうとみ祭りいやびまつらふをめぐしとひこしはしといそなわして道の行く手をわんまつぎのいやとに守り教えの子らが行く末を照る月のいやひろに恵みたまえとかしこみも申す。
Please open your prayer books to page 11 for prayer to the departed souls. Spirits of those who have gone before us, you were given the gift of life in this vast and endless universe. You discharge your duties faithfully, each according to your span of years. You will be remembered eternally, your lives retold from generation to generation, honored as a foundation of our society and the roots of our families. We revere you as the ancestral spirits of our home, our own divine spirits. We beseech you, stand by us each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith, that we hand it down to all generations, that we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. Page 36, 祖先三字。
よよの親は我が家の神我が神と心尽くしていつきまつらんな心尽くしていつきまつらんな尊きみよやんの神たちよ海のこのために家の柱を沈め立てたまい初子のために世のなりわいよ守り助けたまい隠り世の見える境にましませども右尽くしみの御心は映しよにたわらせたまわず先みたまのまさきくさきわえたまいくしみたまのくしびに恵みたまいて志は牧の柱の動きなくなりはゆは結ぶつなめのゆるりなく真心清らに励みつとめしめたまいうからやからやわらぎやいて日にけにうらやすく楽しましめたまいついに移しよのことを得て神の御門に参らん時には必ずしも迎え取 りたまいに慈しみをこむらしめたまわんものと神の実りの大変なるを確かみかたじけなみにおやの恵みのおぼろげならぬを嬉しみ喜び申すことを見心も涼やかにひこしめしたまえと申すアナクシリのみおやのみたまアナクシリのみおやのみたまアナトトのみおやの神アナトトのみおやの神最近お亡くなりましたご霊人様は亡くなった御霊の病気でお亡くなりになったご霊人様飢餓でお亡くなったご霊人様戦争でお亡くなったご霊人様事故でお亡くなったご霊人様災難でお亡くなったご霊人様犯罪悪事でお亡くなったご霊人様大自然でお亡くなったご霊人様戦争でお亡くなったご霊人様初婚礼申し上げたてまつりますどうか天地の大神様のお手を帰りくださいませ。教祖金剛大臣様の御ご立義をいただいてください。天地の大神様の愛、神徳、霊徳をいただいてください。子孫とともに信心の道を嬉しくありがたく歩んでください。誠の信心、誠の影をいただいてください。どうぞ私たちを心に祈りいただいてください。Newly Departed Soul Prayer, page 19. Spirit of the newly departed, we love you now and forever. Fond memories of you fill our hearts. We shall miss your physical presence. Yet you will remain in our hearts forever. We pray for your eternal happiness. We sincerely pray with heart and soul. As a beloved child of Kami, you were given the gift of life and sought to live it fully, each and every day. As you leave your physical form, please listen to our prayers. Whether in your physical or spiritual form, the universe is your eternal home. May you always be blessed with a peaceful heart. Know that you are always embraced by Kami's love. Ichido haire 4 sincere claps. Ichido haire 4 sincere claps.まだ好きかけて祈らないよ世の親親の御親の神の支配をまだ好きかけて祈らないよ世の親親の御親の神の支配をChido haire 4 sincere claps.
一度お入り for sincere claps. Please open your prayer books to page 6 for the recitation of the Tenchi Kakitsuke. 木神金光大臣天地金の神一心に願え影は我が心にあり今月今日で頼み Pray sincerely with all your heart. Be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within, hearts grateful and caring, in harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever. On this very day, pray. Oración de Tenchi Kakitsuke. A través de Ikigami Konko Daijin, Uria Tenchi Kane no Kami, con todo el corazón. A través de Ikigami Konko Daijin, Uria Tenchi Kane no Kami, con todo el corazón. La gracia depende del corazón de cada uno. La gracia depende del corazón de cada uno. Ore, ahora en este momento. Ore, ahora en este momento. Aire, 4 sincere claps. Thank you all very much for joining. I'm going to go over there because everything's down there. So I'll be right over there. Be right back. Hi, I'm back. Nice to see all of you. So today, I'm hoping everything is going to work okay today. My laptop has been giving me a little bit of problems, so hopefully everything should work. Crossing my fingers on this sucker. Hold on 1 second. So today is our Shintoku Academy. It's a mini lesson. And if I can, I'm going to end up disappearing. I might, hold on 1 second. There we are. There we are. And so let's do it like this. Okay. So I have no clue what this is going to look like. I'm doing this for the first time. Like this. Hope you don't mind. Oh, what happened there? Oh, my charger, I'm real. So, let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure everything out. Hopefully you can see me. Oh, I can see myself. I'm surprised. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure everything out. Hopefully you can see me. Oh, I can see myself. I'm surprised. Sorry, I'm just trying. All right, so let's begin. So if you haven't yet, on the service order at the very bottom there's a worksheet. So it's a worksheet to help you to take notes and keep track of where we're going and how we're doing. The worksheet should look something like this. It should say. Here we are. It should, I don't know if you can see this, but it should say goyo on it. And what is goyo? Joy, fun, gobure no nai yoni, activity 1. There's an activity on the back. I don't know if you guys have a back or not, but we'll work with this. All right. So today, I wanted to talk about goyo, especially since we're coming up to Godaisai season, and our Godaisai is on May 8th. So let's talk about goyo and what you can do. What is goyo and what you can do about goyo. So, oops, sorry. I forgot there was this one slide here. So, goyo is a term that is often heard. We often use in konkokyo. We use it all the time. Ministers use it all the time, and I think we as ministers take advantage of the fact that you understand or you know exactly what we mean when we say goyo. I really do believe that we take advantage of this fact, and that's not really that's a very big hasty generalization on our part. So today I'd like to, and I think I've spoken to you about goyo before, but let's review this again. So goyo in any other in it, when you're looking at it, is really service and appreciation to kami. Service and appreciation, some kind of service that we do in appreciation to kami. So it's an action. It's an action. Goyo is both a noun and a verb. It's an action, but it's also a noun. Okay. So that, please keep that in mind. Okay. Next. In regards to ministers, it's goyo is something so special to us. I have to tell you, I will put my work as a teacher aside just to do goyo for kami-sama. That, for me, doing goyo for kami-sama is so, this is so horrible for me to say, but it's so much more meaningful for me. I truly appreciate doing goyo for kami-sama, and so I really prefer doing goyo for kami-sama than the work, for example, correcting papers, or although I love to create curriculum. Creating curriculum is a huge passion of mine. If it's creating curriculum for konkokyo or for kami-sama or for workshop, I love doing those things. But when it comes to my own class, like, mendokusai, it's so troublesome, it's so tiresome. So it's kind of bad. However, in regards to ministers, I think it's important that from an outsider's perspective, someone who is new to konkokyo, may not know konkokyo, they see our profession as a job. Granted, it's true from the outside world, from the outside profession, it's a job. But and when you talk about a job, though, you can have a job where you care or don't care about the work. You don't put your heart into something, or you put your heart. It's almost I think we all have days and we don't like doing what we do. Or some of us have days that or many days that we like what we do. But a job is one where we feel like we're getting compensated for something. We're doing something for something. We're doing something for something. However, in the mind of ministers, and I have to say, I'm not sure if this is just konkokyo ministers. I cannot speak for Buddhists. I cannot speak for Christian ministers. I cannot speak for Tenrikyo ministers. I cannot speak for any of these ministers, but I can speak for konkokyo ministers. Our goyo really is so different because we do what we, in terms of a job, we don't think about it as a job. We think of everything that we do as goyo. It's a service and appreciation to kami-sama. It's an action. It's a noun. We do things. We care about things. We do things from the heart. And then, most churches, not most churches, but some churches are not able to have osagari. Osagari is the offerings from the church. It could be offerings such as the food or the monetary offerings that we would receive to live off of. San Diego Church is very unique, whereas we don't have many offerings, and everything is, we really don't have many offerings. Monetary offerings are very, very low. I can be very honest about that. And that's fine, perfectly fine, because, we have received, I think we are one of few churches throughout konkokyo who did not suffer during the pandemic. We didn't suffer financially during the pandemic. Nothing. We have been such a blessed church, and that's because I truly believe that it is because of our philosophy that we will depend on kami-sama. We're not going to depend on the diocese. We're not going to depend on headquarters. We're going to depend on headquarters in regards to prayers and mediation, but not in terms of finances. We may not be the most financially solvent church, but we didn't suffer anything. Unlike other churches, we did not suffer financially at all. And I think that's a huge, huge favor. And even if we didn't suffer financially at all, even though we don't have many monetary donations, we were still able during the pandemic to receive osagari, to have the offerings that we have. And so that's a huge okage. That really is a huge okage. So in our minds, and especially in my mind, I refuse to be, as a minister, I refuse to be beholden or dependent on the osagari of the San Diego Church, or from KCNA or the diocese, or from headquarters, or our parent church. I refuse to touch or receive any of those monies unless it's as an offering. So unless it's an offering, I will not touch that. KCNA recently sent an X amount of dollars to churches that needed funds only because monetary offerings were low. We did not accept that because we don't have that problem. We did not suffer during the pandemic, and truly we cling to Kami-sama. So really, in my mind, I'm not doing a job. I'm not receiving any compensation. The only compensation I am receiving is I feel so fulfilled. I really am fulfilled. I feel so grateful that I'm allowed to do this goyo, to be of service to Kami-sama every single day. I don't have this job mindset. Someone once told me, "Oh, Todd Sensei, I forgot to pay you. I forgot to pay you for a service." And when that person said "pay you for the service," I was truly offended, because it hurt. Like, I'm not expecting to be paid anything. I really am not. I do things from the bottom of my heart. I do things because I want. I think this is I truly believe that this is the mentality of most Konkokyo ministers. I truly do. That we don't expect to get paid. We don't want to get paid, but we are compensated just through the joy that we receive by you receiving okage, you constantly realizing and deepening your faith with Kami, seeing that relationship with you and Kami. I think that's our compensation. That is the biggest compensation and joy for us. And well, it is for me. It is for me, definitely. So now let's talk. Now that's a minister's goyo. So it's not a job. This minister profession from the outside world is a job. For me personally, it is not a job. It is my goyo. So then, what about for believers? What about for members? What about for the ujiko of each church? Well, goyo, we need to, when we do goyo, when we do service in appreciation to Kami-sama, it has to be done with joy, or it has to be fun or enjoyable. It has to be done with appreciation. And here is something that, I've never heard anyone here in KCNA say this, but in Hawaii, this is really huge. And I have to thank the members of the Honolulu church. They have instilled this within me. They have instilled this with every time I do goyo, because every time I saw them beginning to do goyo, they would go up to the okekkai and they would say, "Gobure no nai yo ni, gobure no nai yo ni." And what "gobure no nai yo ni" means is please allow me to do goyo without any irreverence, but with sincerity. Let's talk about these points. So, oh no, something's wrong. I don't think sorry, I'm looking at the side and I'm realizing you guys are not seeing what I'm seeing. Hopefully you're seeing what I'm seeing. Oh, you are. Okay, whew. So let's talk about goyo being fun. If you look at the picture on the side, that's Mr. Glenn Yabuki. Mr. Yabuki is a really very dear person to me, because I used to go to I lived in Waipahu. My aunt told us to go to the Waipahu church, so we would go to the Waipahu church, and he was such an inspirational person truly, truly, truly an inspirational person. I don't know how to get rid of this thing so you guys can see this better. Let's do this. So, Mr. Yabuki, when I was small, we would go. I did not like going to church every Sunday. I will be honest, I didn't like going to church every Sunday. But I knew when Godaisai was, and I knew when Mitama Matsuri was, and I looked forward to going to church on that day because it was what we call Osoji no Hi, the day that we cleaned the entire church. We cleaned it all completely. And that for me was a huge thing. It truly, truly was a huge thing for me. Sorry. I'm sorry. Can you guys let me know if you can see the PowerPoint? I've been having issues with my program, and it's not really doing the best. So hopefully you're seeing everything I'm seeing, but YouTube is telling me something else. But anyway, so I always look forward to it because Mr. Yabuki Glenn, he made doing Goyo so much fun. And he always said, we can have fun, but we have to do it properly. We have to have fun. I mean, this is our way. And he would tell us that this is our way of giving back to Kami-sama. And I looked forward to washing the tamakushi branches. I look forward to cleaning windows. I look forward to helping to make ohagi. I look forward to, even after Godaisa, when the Godaisa was over and we had to clean up, I look forward to cleaning up. I don't know how many kids look forward to cleaning up, but we all had a blast. We had such a wonderful time, and it really is because of Glenn, and he just made Goyo so much fun. And it's so sad that he passed away so young, but he's just an amazing, amazing, amazing person. And that's what Goyo should be. Goyo needs to be done with joy and energy and fun. I tell this story of when I trained I was only at the Amagi Church for like 2 weeks. And during this time period, I was told by the second head minister of the Amagi Church, Reverend Fumio, the late Reverend Fumio Yasutake, while here to please learn something. And I had done Goyo I've never done before. I've never chopped wood in my life until I went to the Amagi Church, and I started chopping wood. And then there's these huge ofuro or bathtubs. Japanese are known for their huge bathtubs. And I was cleaning the bathtub for the first time. I've never cleaned a big bathtub like that in my life. And I was cleaning with Roy Sensei, and I was having so much fun. But here's the problem. Every night I would come back. We came back to the room. I shared the same room as Roy Sensei. Roy Sensei would tell me, the other male trainees, the other male ministers are saying that you're not doing Goyo properly, that you don't have the proper heart. You're not doing with the proper heart. And every night I used to hear this, and it was so irritating, so deafening. I hate it. I just didn't want to be in the same room as him because I knew I would have to hear the other male ministers, the other men ministers, the other male trainees were saying this about you, saying this about you. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I can't help but this is so much fun. I'm loving this. I'm truly loving this Goyo. And I was really suffering inside. I truly was suffering inside. I thought, am I supposed to suffer? Is Goyo supposed to be traumatic? Am I supposed to get PTSD from doing Goyo? It was really problematic for me. So on my last day, the day I was supposed to return to headquarters, Reverend Sachiko Yasutake, she was so amazing. Roy says, "Oh, you have to make your rounds." So I made my rounds, saying goodbye to everybody. And as we got to the kitchen, Sachiko Sensei had made my bento. She personally made my bento, and she had tears in her eyes. And she held my hand. She gave me the bento. She held my hand and said, "Oh, Todd, do you really have to leave? Do you really have to leave?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I really have to leave." And it was like, "Oh my gosh, why?" And she said, and I'll never forget her words. And so she said in Japanese. Well, let me give you the English version. She said, "You have come to this gloomy place. You
with so much light and so much energy, came to this gloomy place of Amagi, and you brightened it up for all of us. And the women here have been watching you, they've been observing you, and they see how much joy you take in doing goyo, and it's because of you we've received this energy. And we want to have that same energy, that same enjoyment of doing goyo, just as you did. I turned around and there were all these male ministers behind me, and Roy Sensei was behind me. Each one of their heads was down. And that's when I knew what Glenn had taught me, to do goyo with joy and fun and let it be enjoyable, was so important. So important. You know, there's a Pastor Joel Osteen often says to sing a song that fills your heart with joy as you're doing the Lord's work. And I love that. When I was at Honolulu Church doing goyo, I would always play my favorite music, and so that I could sing, and my energy would be a part of the goyo, that my joy, my love for this goyo would be a part of the window cleaning, the cleaning of the floors, the cleaning of the stage. It was just so, I just truly enjoyed myself, you know. And I think, you know, if you're doing goyo, sing a song in your heart that fills you with joy. If it's not fun or joyful, don't do it. If it's going to be kurushi, or oh my gosh, I'm going to die from this, don't do this goyo at all. It's not even worth it. It's not worth your time, not worth anybody's time. Don't do it. I think that's the most important thing. You know, Reverend Kyoso-sama says, whether one gives life or kills oneself depends on one's heart. Whether one allows oneself to live or allows oneself to die depends on one's heart. This is such a powerful teaching. Such a powerful teaching, because it's not just about us. It tells us the power of the heart and its effect on us. We can kill ourselves or allow us to live. In the same respect, with goyo that we're allowed to do, we can attach negativity to an object or bring joy and positivity to an object or a thing or a place. That becomes so important. So important. Now, I want to skip really quickly. I want to go to gobure no nai yo ni, doing goyo without irreverences first, before I jump to another thing. This thing is driving me nuts. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh no, I think you're all backtracked. All right, so now hopefully you can see the screen that says gobure no nai yo ni. I'm going to have to read everything out too, and I'm going to have to figure out what's wrong with my laptop. Anyway, doing goyo without irreverence means to not have any negative thinking or not taking shortcuts. I have a friend who's Tenrikyo, and he joined me when I went into the minister's spiritual training session at headquarters. And he was with one of my seminary classmates, Reverend Sakamoto. And he was paired with her. And I remember the very first day, right after we did prayer and everything, we're supposed to clean the faith training thingy, Shintoku Den, which is like the faith training building that they have. And he started to clean what's called the getabako. So it's like our shoebox. And what he would do was he would go around each box. He would go around each shoe as he was cleaning the shoebox. And Sakamoto Sensei would be like, Tenrikyo-san. I'm like, oh my gosh. When I heard that, I rushed. What did he? He can't do anything bad. He's a really good guy. And I rushed out and I hid on the side and listened. He goes, as she said, and I'll just give you the English version. She said, do you not practice faith? Why are you going around the geta? Pick the geta up and go and clean under there too. Why are you taking the shortcut? And I was like, oh my gosh. And every time we would do some kind of cleaning for goyo, I would hear Tendi Kyo-san, Tendi, and I would rush out like, oh my gosh, he's gonna hate me, he's gonna hate me, he's gonna hate me. And I would rush out to hear what was happening. In the end, he actually thanked me for that experience. And in fact, he gave a presentation because he was really he was at Tendi as a translator. And he thanked me for this experience because he was asked, because everyone in his dorm knew that he had gone to Konkokyo headquarters. They wanted him to give a report. And I remember him saying, I told them, I asked my friend asked everyone, how many of you consider yourself Tenrikyo believers? Everyone raised their hand. And then he got so upset and he said, don't you dare call yourself Tenrikyo believers. Don't you dare call yourself Tenrikyo believers. Look at the type of hinokishin. Hinokishin is their verbiage of goyo. So look at the type of hinokishin you do. Look at how there's no sense of sincerity or conscientiousness in anything that you do. And he ripped into each and every person who was at his presentation. Ripped into every single one of them, including the ministers and the staff members. He himself was so offended. And he had learned so much. And he said, thank you. You made me rethink and relearn Tenrikyo's Kyoso-sama's or founders' teachings, and to rethink what Nakayama Miki would have done. So when we talk about Gobure no Naiyo ni, we're not talking about shortcuts or negativity. Everything it should be done with sincerity. Everything should be done with your heart. Kyoso-sama taught us, for those who practice faith, everything should be done with sincerity. For those who practice faith, everything should be done with sincerity. All right, let's go to our first activity. So if you have your worksheet, this is what I want to do. I am going to give you 2 minutes. And what I would like for you to do is I would like for you to write down in 2 minutes the blessings, favors, interventions, and protections you received between January 2021 and to today. Again, please write down in 2 minutes the blessings, favors, interventions, and protections you received between January 21 and today. Write as many of them as you can think of, all right? Your 2 minutes begins now. You have about 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining. Write as many as you can down. No, you can write them in English. Spanish, if it works in Spanish, that's perfectly fine. English, Spanish, Japanese is perfectly fine. About 30 seconds remaining. I know you all have a ton of blessings to share. All right. So your time is up, and you had, and I'm accounting for the lag between what live and all of this. So just so you had, there was a little bit more than what 2 minutes. Okay. So next, so my question to all of you is, how do you offer your heart of appreciation to Kami? You know, Reverend Wakiko Igawa, she's my spiritual mentor. She said, this is what she told me a long time ago when I was training at the Whittier Rose Hills Church. You can say thank you, thank you, thank you all you want, and that's typical, very typical of people to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you all you want, right? But there comes a point when the word thank you loses its meaning. So do your best to show your appreciation in action or in some form of physical representation. It does not have to be big or expensive. A little something goes a long way. And I have to tell you, you know, when I was at Stanford in doing my graduate program, and I was part of a cohort in the education program, a lot, I would say about 90% of my peers had such a hard time getting subjects to follow, to shadow, to interview, to do research with. They had such a hard time because students at their schools, and this is what was actually told to me by a student, when I first asked her, would she mind being my subject? She said, absolutely not, because what you do benefits only you. It doesn't benefit me. And I think researchers are one of the worst people. I really think they're one of the, as good as their intentions are, they're horrible about giving appreciation. They're horrible about saying thank you. And it's all mouth, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And yet the person really receiving the benefits is the researcher. The subject is the subject. You're just using and abusing it. And subjects, especially students, have been used and abused by graduate students for so long. And yet I took what Wakiko Sensei said into consideration. And I said, let's see if this works. And I said, please trust me, I'm not going to be like them. And after my first interview with this student, I said, it's not much. And it was really this small little Easter basket. It was a small little Easter basket I'd made, small little Easter basket I found. And I put a bunny inside, and I put a $5 gift card because I really can't afford, and everything came from Walmart. Disclosure, everything came from Walmart. It was cheap. I made sure, because I was a struggling poor college graduate student. And but I wanted to make sure she knew I appreciated her. And I gave it to her, and she was like, Sensei, you didn't have to do this. Sensei, you don't have to do this. She told, her whole tone completely changed. And Jujun, and I never, ever, I could ask any student at that school, will you be my subject? And they would say yes. How do I know? I asked an even though my subject was for languages, world languages, I asked an English student, someone from an English class, do you mind if I follow you throughout the day? And he was like, sure, no problem. Everybody knew that I wasn't all what we say in Hawaii, all waha, or all mouth. And because of Wakiko Sensei, I put things into practice. I showed people I appreciate it. And from that point on, I have followed what Wakiko Sensei has done. And I want to show people my appreciation, my aloha, my heart of aloha to them. And I don't just want to say it in words, but I want to say it in action. I want to say it in some kind of form. And I do my best to do it. I'm not successful all the time, but people know my heart. And it's not one of, oh, because you did this. No, it's one of, I really appreciate this. I truly appreciate this. So I ask you, and Goyo is the same thing. Goyo is done. And that's what Glenn made sure we learned. Goyo is to be done is being done in appreciation. We're having fun, but remember, this is for Kami-sama. We're saying thank you to Kami-sama. That's what this is Glenn. That's what he emphasized. That's what he emphasized. Reverend that should be Kaneo. Sorry, that should be Kaneo Okubayashi. Reverend Kaneo Okubayashi of the Kongo Church of Kinjo, I visited his church once because it's a very famous church in Nagoya. And he once told me, Goyo must be done for the right reasons, or don't do it. Doing Goyo with the wrong heart is an irreverence to Kami and taints everything you have done with your heart. Let me repeat what he said. Goyo must be done for the right reasons, or don't do it all. Don't do it. Doing Goyo with the wrong heart is an irreverence to Kami and taints everything you have done with your heart. It's really interesting because at Kinjo Church, Reverend Okubayashi does not allow his members to do Goyo. Unless they have the right heart. They do it with the right heart. And literally that day when I was meeting, that morning when I was at his church and we were talking, he was talking about his concept of his philosophy, his mindset when it comes to Goyo. A believer had come in, prayed, and went right up to him and said, Sensei, I received so much okage. Please allow me to clean the downstairs bathroom. Sensei said, oh, by all means, go ahead. She made it clear, I received so much okage. Please allow me to clean the downstairs bathroom. And for this woman, it's her way of showing appreciation to Kami-sama. And Kaneo Okubayashi Sensei said, she has the right heart. She's doing it in appreciation to Kami-sama. That's what I'm looking for. That's why I never allow a Shinja-san, anyone, just do Goyo. They have to do it with the right heart. So, Mike, let's go back to this question. How do you offer your heart of appreciation to Kami-sama? Now, Goyo, there's two ways Goyo can be done. Goyo, maybe the sensei asks you to do Goyo, or it's created on your own. Maybe you have an idea. So, for example, the San Diego Church once a month church cleanup. This was member inspired. And I loved it when it came up. I loved it. I said, let's do it. Let's do it. And for 45 minutes, we cleaned the church up from 10 o'clock to 10:45. We cleaned the church up. And so we do that. I love this idea. The other way Goyo can be done is sensei asks you, hey, do you think you could do this? Would you mind doing this? And you have a right to say no. But if you don't want to do it, or you think you're going to do it for the wrong reasons, or you're going to have any form of negativity towards it, just tell sensei no. Just tell sensei no. Because the last thing we want is Kami-sama to be defiled. We don't want, maybe it's the tamakushi. We don't want negativity placed on the tamakushi. We want you to do it with the right heart. So if you look on the back, I don't know how you printed yours out, but the second sheet, it asks you a question. How will you show your appreciation to Kami-sama? How will you show your appreciation to Kami-sama? So let me give you 2 minutes to think about this and to jot down ideas. It doesn't have to be full sentences, but to jot down ideas about how you will show your appreciation to Kami-sama. So, 2 minutes, begin. For those of you who are just joining, we're answering the question, how will you show your appreciation to Kami-sama? How will you show your appreciation to Kami-sama? We have about 40 seconds remaining. Okay, that's time. Okay. So hopefully we together we learned something new about Goyo. I'm really happy that you're able to join us today. And I hope you will be able to put into practice. Just one more thing about Goyo though. Before you set out to do Goyo, always make sure you do otodoke with you seek toritsugi with your minister, your head minister. The reason behind that is because you want your minister to pray for you. You want your minister to pray for your safety. Hopefully you find for your fulfillment, enjoyment, and that Kami-sama will be pleased and Kami-sama will guide you. So you always want to do, before you start your goyo, even maybe a couple of days or a week before, seek toritsugi with your minister. And after you finish your goyo, always seek mediation to say thank you because you're allowed to do this goyo. So please always make sure that you're doing that, because that's a part of goyo that many believers skip, is the toritsugi aspect of it. Always seek, and that's the one thing I truly am grateful for the Shinja-san in Hawaii, especially at the Honolulu church. They have taught that to me. When they do goyo, they seek toritsugi first. When their goyo is finished, they seek toritsugi again, and then they go home. So please, that is so important, to always seek mediation before and after. And if it's like maybe a project you're doing for the church, or something you came up, or something you want to be able to do or inspired to do, seek mediation about it. Always seek mediation. So important. All right. That being stated, I just have a few announcements. So one, if you haven't done the Google Forms, please do the Google Forms. If you're on Facebook, all you have to do is look at the description, and the Google Forms will be there. Click there and let us know who you are, because I would like to make sure your name is written in the prayer notebook. So please, it can be done in English, Spanish, or Japanese, no problem. Second, next Sunday I will not be here. Next Sunday is the Whittier Rose Hills Church's grand ceremony. This is the third time I'm going to go to Los Angeles. I just came back from Los Angeles last night. But please, I will be there. So if you wish to join us, I will make sure that it's posted somewhere for all of you to see. The following Sunday is a San Diego Church grand ceremony. and the invitations have all been sent out. Please, 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 if you are attending, if you're attending live, we do need to know if you're attending live and how many people will be attending. We do need to know so we can set the Hiromai up for that many people. Just because of our unique situation, we just need to know how many chairs we have to prepare. And Vivian needs to know where to situate things as well. So please, please, please. And because it's our Godaisai day, if those of you who'd like to do Goyo earlier would like to come on the first and do Goyo and help Vivian to clean up the church, I think she would truly appreciate that. I know she would truly appreciate it. And today, I can officially announce. I was waiting for one particular guest speaker. Unfortunately, that guest speaker didn't get back to me. I'm so grateful that the second person said yes. I would like to share with you who our guest speakers are. I am so excited because these two ministers are two of the most dearest people to my heart. They truly are very dear people to my heart, and I hope you will be inspired by both of them. I take that back. I know you will be inspired by both of them. The first person doing our Japanese sermon will be the Reverend Tamie Imaoka from the Nakadachi-uri Church in Kyoto. You all may not know her, but you know the song. You've all sung her songs before. She is the lyricist and the composer of Hikari Kagayaku Michi, or Shining Shimmering Light. She composed it. She is one of the conductors for the choir at Konkokyo headquarters. She has composed I can't say numerous yet, but she has composed a number of songs for Konkokyo, including, if I'm correct, it was a 50th anniversary song for the Young Men and Women's Association in Japan. I am so inspired. She asked me what to speak. I told her exactly what I wanted her to speak about, and she will be talking to you about it. So I'm truly inspired. In that picture, you see her son, Hideki Imaoka, who is this incredible virtuoso in regards to the violin. Just amazing young man. And our English sermon will be given by the Reverend Edna Matsuoka of the Wahiawa Mission. I was so inspired by her sermon that I asked her, please, will you please do the sermon? I got the okay, and she will be giving our English sermon. So I'm very, very excited. Again, if you want to come and watch it live, it'll be somehow we're going to figure out how we're going to show it and broadcast it all at the same time. We're going to figure that out. But please join us for both sermons because I think it will be such a remarkable, such a heart-touching day. And I hope you will all be inspired. So please, everyone, take care. Please stay safe. Ahui ho. And again, if you're going to join us for the Godaisai, please make sure you let me know. Also, please fill out the Google Forms. I would be greatly appreciated. So please take care. Please stay safe. And we shall see you all next time. Ahui ho. Malamapono. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.